Hi, Tina.
Wonder Woman!
Our real responsibility was to our audience, to the people that had read the comic strip and knew what she could or couldn't do.
The beautiful part about Wonder Woman and the TV show and the producer's approach was by drawing on the mythology of the comic books and staying really true to it.
It was all very accurate to the comics. I mean, her coming to America and Paradise Island, all of it was what the comic books had set up.
It resonated from the comic through TV land and to young viewers like myself, and it worked.
And you made him tell the truth with the lasso.
That's right.
It's not easy to figure out how to take the best of a cartoon strip and make it work in television. It's very, very hard to stay within the budget that television could afford and yet create for an audience what they remembered for the comic strip, where it's very, very easy to draw 1,000 men approach over the hill. Now it's easier. You can send out 10 and technically create the other 990, but then you couldn't quite do it that way.
In the comic book, she got her powers from the Greek gods, and now she had incredible strength that could rival Superman, and she had speed that could rival the Flash. And I think you saw some of those powers reflected in the TV show. She became physically more powerful in seasons 2 and 3.
The differences in powers between the comics versions and the television version, you know, it's strange. It's just one of those things because the various different eras and interpretations of the comics over the past 60+ years, she's had different powers.
Some of the tools may leave something to desire. Maybe the special effects for the invisible plane weren't as great as they could be, but you know, for me as a kid, it was enough just to see these elements made in the series. Like, okay, there's the lasso and there's the plane, and you know, I didn't care otherwise. I just needed to see that stuff responded to.
Oh, yes, we just received your name.
Well, I was sort of an afterthought.
I can't believe that.
Other than Christopher Reeve, there has never been a single actor who has so embodied a comic book character as Lynda Carter did. She was the epitome of everything Wonder Woman was in the comics and everything that fans of Wonder Woman wanted the character to be.
I found that grain of truth inside myself that I shared with that character. That part of me that would stand up for what I believed in and wanted to make things better. Those qualities that I saw in myself or felt within myself that I gave to her.
Lynda Carter took that costume and she became that character.
When Lynda Carter walked on screen as Wonder Woman, you were like, I buy her instantly. I don't need an adjustment period. This show doesn't have to convince me that she's Wonder Woman.
In any acting role, once you're on a set and you're in costume, it helps you to get into your character. The tiara went on. I think that's when I started to feel transformed.
Wonder Woman? Here, now?
They moved the series to CBS and moved it suddenly from World War II up to the 1970s. It was not as big a leap as people think, at least for comic book fans, because in the comics, Wonder Woman had already gone to in the 1970s. She was having adventures in the 1970s. During the first season of the series, DC Comics moved the adventures of Wonder Woman back to World War II so that they matched the TV series. Once the series moved up to 1977, then they moved it back to 1977 adventures. So the comic actually reflected the reality of the TV series for a while. In the comics, when Wonder Woman wanted to change, when Diana Prince changed into Wonder Woman or vice versa, they originally, from the 1940s forward, would show her just taking off her clothes, and she wore the Wonder Woman costume underneath. In the 1970s, they had her spin her lasso around herself, and the magical vibrations from the lasso would replace her normal clothes with her Wonder Woman costume. Then the TV show came out. They didn't want to do the spinning lasso, so they developed the Wonder Spin instead. And so for a while, the comic books reflected that.
It's kind of cool to have created something that is so memorable about Wonder Woman that wasn't in the comic books.
The second season of Wonder Woman introduced 2 additional costumes that Wonder Woman could spin around and turn into. One of them I like to call the Wonder Wetsuit, which was her blue bodysuit that she used when she dove into the water. In the comics, they didn't use a wetsuit. They also needed a Wonder motorcycle outfit, and they wanted an all-body covering outfit that would cover up pads and things like that. They utilized the exact same outfit for her Wonder wetsuit that they did for the motorcycle outfit. They just added a helmet and goggles, and suddenly she was Wonder Biker instead of Wonder Wetsuit.